So not only is the NVIDIA RTX 5090 video card affected by a lack of RLPs or render output units, but apparently it's also the 5080 and as well the 5070 Ti, and who knows how many more video cards will be affected. So let's jump into this now. So make sure you go over to this website and check out the article. I will provide a link to the sources in the YouTube description down below, like I always do, and this article and this article. And I kind of pulled all of these together to cover what exactly is going on here with all of these video cards and missing RLPs. Now, some might say, well, who cares if you're missing just a few RLPs? Doesn't really matter. It's not the end of the world. No, it is definitely not the end of the world. However, if you are buying pretty much any of these 50 series video cards, you're spending a lot of money. And unless you are rich, you probably want to get every single ounce of performance you can out of it to try and justify the purchase. I'm not wrong, right? So if you're missing a few render output units, it's a big deal. And when I go into what they're about, you'll understand why. So think of render output units, or RLPs, as the polishers and finishers on an assembly line. But before RLPs, there are shader units. And shader units, well, they crunch all the numbers. They're responsible for the textures, and also they figure out the colors and where everything should be on the screen. But RLPs are equally important. RLPs take that information and do some critical last-minute work, like, for example, anti-aliasing that smooths out the jagged edges. It makes your image look better. Bleeding combines colors and transparency effects for a more realistic look. As well, the output prepares the final image to be sent to your monitor. So now let's jump into this article where they're talking about missing RLPs in pretty much all the NVIDIA 50 series video cards, the RTX 5090, the 5090D, that's the Chinese version, the 5080, as well as the 5070 Ti. So NVIDIA has said that it only affects 0.5% of the 50 series GPUs, and the performance impact is negligible at 4% for graphics workloads, which would be games, and apparently it has no effect on AI. And NVIDIA also mentions that this is a manufacturing anomaly and has been fixed in current production. So that is a good thing. Now, if you are affected by this, don't worry, because apparently you can get a replacement. I guess you would go to the retailer, the manufacturer where you purchase it from, and do some sort of RMA, contact the company and see how all that works. So NVIDIA also states that no other GPUs, including the upcoming RTX 5070, plain Jane 5070, not the Ti or Ti, are affected. But the 5090 is, the 5090D is, the 5080 is, and the 5070 Ti is. That's a lot of video cards. Early adopters, never, ever be one. Ever. People who are buying these video cards generally are gamers, and they kind of know, I would imagine, like what is going on with these cards. But why would you spend your hard-earned money on this to gamble? Really, because you might get one that works, but you might not. So wait a little while, have some patience, wait until everything gets ironed out, hopefully, and then maybe 4, 5, 6 months from now, you can go out and pick up one with confidence that it is going to work for you. But please also keep in mind that the 50 series video cards are really all about AI technologies like DLSS and multi-frame generation and all that upscaling stuff. Raw performance in most games isn't much faster than the 40 series cards. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Your comments are always welcome. I would love to hear what your insights are on this. And if you have anything to add, that is also very welcome. I will see you in the next one.